everyone! Today I will be showing you how to make a never-ending card. This card at first might look a little challenging or difficult, but once you get the hang of it, it is very easy. For the card base, I decided to use some yellow cardstock so you'll be able to see the square lines when I'm working on the project. I used a 12 by 12 piece of cardstock and scored one side at 6 inches, and then flipped it over, scoring the other side at 6 inches using my Martha Stewart scoreboard. After the cardstock was scored, I set my scoreboard aside and grabbed my Fiskars paper trimmer to trim down the square lines I just made. By using a 12 by 12 piece of cardstock, you are able to make 2 cards out of it. Once the paper is trimmed, you should have 4 squares. I set 2 of the squares aside to make another card later, and then grabbed my scoreboard again. I took one of the squares and scored it at 1 inch on both sides so that once it is scored, I should have 2 lines. In the middle of those 2 lines, I am going to score a cut line at 3 inches vertically. On the next square, I scored 2 lines at 1 inch again. But this time, for the 3-inch score line, instead of scoring it vertically, you want to do it horizontally. After both square pieces of cardstock have been scored, take one of the squares and add a little bit of glue to the corners, making sure not to get any on the score lines or your card won't work when trying to open it. Following the glue being added to the square, you are now going to take the remaining square and add it to the top and set it aside to dry. Once the square has completely dried, you should have one cut line that is vertical on one side and one that is horizontal on the other side. You will want to open up the card and cut down those 2 lines, making sure not to cut the paper behind it because it is very easy to make a mistake. Now on to the folding part of the card. This is where things might get a little tricky, so watch carefully, and you can always pause the video and go back if you missed something or need to watch it again. The vertical line where you just cut should be facing up. You will want to take those 2 rectangle pieces and fold them open to the square line. Once the 2 flaps have been folded to the square line, you should have 2 rectangles and 2 vertical strips. Right now, things are easy because everything is squared and is flat. Next, you'll want to take both of the rectangles and fold them out as if you were opening the card. And here's where things get a little tricky because not everything is squared and you will have to make the fold yourself. When flipping the 2 rectangles open, the inner pieces are not squared. They will not fold down and you will have to do this yourself. You should then have 2 top panels and 2 side panels once everything is creased and folded down. Next, you will take the two side panels and flip them behind the card, and you will end up with two rectangles with no other panels because this is the back of the card. The last thing you are going to do to get back to the front of the card is to lift the two rectangle panels and fold them back behind the card, and you should have the front. I will show you again how this card works. Once you get the hang of how the card works, you can make them any size you want and for any holiday. Thanks for watching. Please give this video a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. Also, a list of the products used to make this card will be listed down below.